here again from Sue's Dog Life Kitchen, and I hope you're all getting on well in the nutty world we now find ourselves living, and I hope you're looking forward to Christmas anyway. So today my Christmas recipe is going to be a Christmas pudding, but we're not just making one Christmas pudding. I think we're making 3 Christmas puddings with all these ingredients in front of me, which took me over an hour to get together. There's so many ingredients to this Christmas pudding. I'm just going to count them. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 ingredients to this Christmas pudding. Okay, so it's a very intense Christmas pudding, or Christmas puddings I should say. So this video is going to be in probably 3 parts, because today we're putting this all together, then we're leaving it overnight so it can all like just get on with each other, sort of all mingle in together, and all the flavours should come out overnight. And then tomorrow we'll actually be doing the cooking process, which will be not a very long video, because I'll just be putting it in the pan showing you how to cook it on the cooker. And then the video after that will be, I will show you a finished product of one of the Christmas puddings, okay? So this will be 3 videos, but not very long. This will be the longest video because I've actually got to read out all the ingredients to you and put it together, okay? So bear with me as I go through this massive long list. This I'm using out of this book again. So at the moment, all my Christmas recipes have all come out of this one book, and it is a wonderful book, and I'm loving all the Christmas recipes out of this. So, right, let me go through the Christmas pudding instructions, okay? What you need. So you need 225 grams of fine soft breadcrumbs. Right, I grounded up my breadcrumbs. I actually make my own bread as well, so which is even better if you make your own bread and use your own breadcrumbs. If not, just use shop bought bread, but don't use shop bought breadcrumbs unless they're real breadcrumbs, not those golden things. They're not breadcrumbs. And then you need 110 grams of flour, preferably plain. So really that's not much flour in this recipe, so there's 110 grams. And then you need 225 grams of shredded suet. So I have 225 grams of shredded suet here. And then you need 225 grams of moist brown sugar. So I have my dark mascarpone, or whatever it's called, brown sugar in this box. Okay, I forgot the name of it now. Mascarpone or something, can't remember, sorry. And then 450 grams of seedless or stoned and chopped raisins. Right, so that's all in here. So I had mostly raisins, and then I had to top it off with some mixed fruit, okay? So there's a little bit of mixed fruit in there, but that's not the end of the fruit, that's just the beginning. Then you need 225 grams of sultanas, so there's 225 grams of sultanas, 225 grams of currants, there's 225 grams of currants in there. Then you need 110 grams of dried apricots finely chopped, and 50 grams of dried prunes. Well, I used dates. I don't actually have dried prunes, but I used dates. So there we are, that's there. Okay, and then in this bowl for the apricots, I also didn't have enough apricots, and dried papaya I used as well. So just something a bit different. And then you need 110 grams of glacier cherries. I actually but you're not supposed to turn it into a puree, you're supposed to just chop it. My chopper just whizzed them, and before I knew it they'd actually just, because they're so soft, aren't they? Never mind. And then you need 110 grams of cooking apple. Well, I'm using dessert apple because I haven't got any cooking apples. I used them in a recipe that I made the other day for something that we were eating, I think. So I've got 110 grams of just normal dessert apple. It's gone a bit brown, but it really doesn't matter. And then you need 110 grams of carrot, so grated. So you grate the apple and you grate the carrot, okay? And then you need 110 grams of blanched almonds chopped. So there they are, 110 grams of blanched almonds chopped. 1 teaspoon of grated lemon rind. So there's a teaspoon, well, just over a teaspoon of grated lemon rind, and also orange rind, okay, grated. And then you need half to 1 teaspoon of ground nutmeg. So this is fresh nutmeg that I actually grated, and that's about a teaspoon in there. And then you need 1 to 2 teaspoons of mixed spice. So I've used probably about 1.5 teaspoons of mixed spice in there. And then you need half to 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. So that's half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon in there. Then you need 4 large eggs. I haven't got 4 large eggs, so I'm using 5 standard size eggs, medium eggs, which are in this bowl. And then you need 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. So I've got the lemon juice in here, which I squeezed. And then you need 1 tablespoon of orange juice. You don't need to use either of these juices because it has an asterisk by it, meaning that you don't have to put them in if you don't want to. But I am. I'm doing it exactly what it says on here. Then 1 tablespoon of black treacle. I'm using black molasses. I don't use treacle, I use molasses. So I'm using molasses. And 1 wine glass. Alright, so it says 150 or 1/4 pint of stout or ale. I've got this Guinness here, so we'll be using that. And then it does say 1 wine glass brandy or rum as well. Oh, it's very alcoholic, isn't it? Anyway, we'll put that in when we get to that bit because I haven't got that here. Anyway, so it says here you need to grease 4 1.5, 2.5 pint or 2 2.5 litre, 4.5 pint basins in the mixture. So I've got this basin here, which is a 2.5 pint basin. I've only got one of those, so we're using these 2 1.5 pint basins, which makes 3 pints. And that brings us up, well, it's over the amount that we need. But I also have some little basins over there on standby in case I don't have enough for all these basins, and then I can break it down into smaller basins. So as long as I just get like 1 Christmas pudding is what I was after, but this is like a massive amount of ingredients, because she says, right, this woman, I make a fairly large amount of the Christmas pudding mixture, and that's what I'm going to do. For I like to offer it to visitors from abroad. Don't think we'll be getting any visitors from abroad who have heard of but never tasted our traditional pudding. It is important to allow this recipe to mature for at least 6 weeks. I haven't got 6 weeks, I have about 2 weeks, and that's going to have to be long enough, I'm afraid. So it won't be that mature, but the other ones that I'm making will be allowed to mature, but the first one, what we're going to actually eat for Christmas, will have to be at Christmas time. But the others will be matured. To give virtually the same amount, I've rounded off metric amounts to correspond with the imperial. So I've just read out all the metric amounts to you. I'm not going to do the imperial amounts. To give virtually the same. Mix all the ingredients together. So I have got a big bowl. This is the biggest bowl that I've got. Okay, so I'm going to, hopefully it all fits in there. If not, I'm going to use a ginormous saucepan. But hopefully it'll all fit in there. So basically all we've got to do is mix it all together. I like to leave the uncooked pudding mixture standing overnight so that the flavours blend better. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to just mix all this in this bowl, and then we're going to cover it up, and we're just going to leave it in the kitchen overnight and then tomorrow I'll make the next part of the video where you see me put it in the basins, okay, and how we're going to cook it. Alright? Oh, and it also says, so that the flavours blend, it also allows all members of the family to stir the mixture up, because that's traditional, isn't it, to stir the mixture up and make a wish. Anyway, there's only me and my partner who will be making wishes, and so that's all we're doing today. We won't read the rest because that'll be tomorrow. Okay, so what we're going to do now is add it all together. So this is cool. So I've got my massive bowl here. I don't use this basin very often because it is so large. So first of all, we're going to put the breadcrumbs in. So we'll put the breadcrumbs in, and then we'll put the flour in. I can take off my glasses now. I don't need them for this. I can see perfectly well. And I'm going to just use one of these sort of wooden things today. And then we'll just mix it as we go, so we haven't got a great big mixing job to do. So we'll put most of the dry ingredients first before we put the wet in, the same as you do for any cake you make. Now I'll put the suet in. So if you want the ingredients for this cake, if you want the ingredients for this Christmas pudding, just leave me a comment below and I'll put all the ingredients up for you, because I don't expect you to remember it all because there's a lot of ingredients. And then here is the mixed fruit that which is mostly sultan. Raisins, yeah, raisins, get your fruit right. So your raisins. And then I'm going to put the sultanas in, so it's got tons of fruit in it. And your sultanas in. And then your currants in. Wow, it's a lot of fruit. This is going to be a really rich pudding. So that's all that. And then we're going to put in the brown sugar. Might have to get that to break up a little bit. Should put it through a sieve first. It's a bit hard. Oh, it'll come together. Now we'll put in the ground almonds. So the ground almonds. Put them in. Now the candied peel with the apricots and papaya fruit that I used. I haven't really had that much candied peel, so I had to sort of improvise. But it doesn't matter, just improvise, that's what I do. It's your own pudding. Then I'm going to put in the dates, which is supposed to be prunes, but I haven't got any prunes, so we're just using dates, which are ground, you know. So it's looking really good now. There's a lot of stuff going in here. And then we're going to put in the apple, so the grated apple and the grated carrot. Grated carrot, grated apple. And we're going to give it a really good stir now. Try and get to the bottom of the basin. And then we're going to put in slightly wetter ingredients now, so that's most of the dry ingredients right there. God, it's loads of fruit. Gosh, 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 gosh. So give it a really good stir. Try and get the bottom bit and tip it to the top. Wow, it's a lot of ingredients. Oh, I hope I read it right. I did read it right. I read it about 3 times before I done it. Anyway, and then we're going to put in the orange peel, the zest of the orange. Oh my gosh, that smells so nice. Now the zest of the lemon. Oh, the smell is amazing. Now I'm going to put in my squidged glacier cherries, which are just like goo. So that's more of the wet ingredients now. That should be dry, but never mind. We're just putting it in anyway. Wow. Now we're going to put in the orange juice, the lemon juice, the, I think this is the mixed spice, the cinnamon. Wow, it's smelling so good. And the ground nutmeg. Wow, smell is just amazing. Whoa, Whoopsie, I'm going to lose any of it. Oh my God, the smell is to die for. Wow. Right, oh, I'm getting it everywhere. I just need to scoop it up. Now we're going to put in the black molasses. I'm just going to melt it a little bit in the microwave because it's not going to come out. Look. So while we're waiting for the black molasses, we'll put the eggs in. I need a bit of wet here. And then I will read out how much of this beer we're going to use, because I can't remember now. I'm going to have to get a jug out. Right, the molasses should be done. Hello again. So I have just cleared up a little bit because it was getting a bit overwhelming. And I melted the molasses in the microwave so we could actually get it out of the pot. So what we're going to do now is just put in 1/4 of a pint of Guinness. It says to use stout or real out like ale, but I've got Guinness, so I'm using Guinness. So it's coming together really nice. Don't know if you can see that. Look at that. So that's the mixture nearly done. So the only thing we need to get now is some brandy. So I'm going to go and get it from behind the bar. So I'm going to go and get some brandy, and then we're just going to let it rest overnight in the kitchen here, and then tomorrow we'll put it in the basins and cook it. So it's looking really good. It smells absolutely to die for. Wow, the smell of it is just amazing. Oh my God. Oh, I wish you could smell that. Anyway, I'll be back again in a minute because I'm just going to go and get the brandy, okay, to put in our cake. Okay then? So, see you again in a minute. Bye for now. Bye. Hello again. So I went and got a, well, I've decided to do a sherry glass of brandy. I think a wine glass is a bit too much because a wine glass are big. So anyway, so I'm just putting a sherry glass worth of brandy in it. I think a wine glass is a bit too much for myself. I think that would be too wet as well. So maybe she just meant a little wine glass. Our wine glasses are like this big, so you know. So that's a sherry glass, which I think is more appropriate. And that seems quite wet to me. I don't think you'd want it any wetter than that. And anyway, we'll see what it looks like tomorrow. We can always add a bit more Guinness. But I think that's wet enough myself. I don't think you'd want it any wetter. So that's it. So we're just going to leave this on the side in the kitchen for the night until I get round to doing my video tomorrow. And then I'll show you the next bit of the process. So there we are. So that's the mixture made, okay? So what I'm going to do now is, off camera, I will just cover it up with a tea towel and I'll just leave it in the kitchen and we'll come back tomorrow. So, I hope you enjoyed my video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up and a like and ring that notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a new video. And also you tell your friends and family about my channel and my videos, and I hope I can give you some kind of knowledge, even if it's just a good laugh. I don't mind. I really enjoy cooking and I love doing it on camera for you, and I just hope that I've taught you something. If not, I just hope you enjoy watching them anyway. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video for the next part of the Christmas pudding making. So bye for now. Bye.